Communist movements have played a significant role in 20th century history and continue to influence politics and society in many parts of the world. 1. Russian Revolution, 1917. The Bolshevik Revolution, led by Vladimir Lenin, established the world's first communist state, the Soviet Union. This revolution aimed to end the Russian monarchy and feudal system, bringing about major political and economic changes. The Soviet Union played a pivotal role in the spread of communism worldwide. 2. Chinese Communist Revolution, 1949. The Chinese Communist Party, under the leadership of Mao Zedong, triumphed over the nationalists, establishing the People's Republic of China. This marked the largest communist victory in history and fundamentally altered the global political landscape. 3. Cuban Revolution, 1959. Fidel Castro and Che Guevara led a successful communist revolution in Cuba, toppling the authoritarian regime of Fulgencio Batista. Cuba's communist government has remained in power for decades, despite opposition from the United States. 4. Cold War, 1947 to 1991. The ideological struggle between communist and capitalist powers, mainly the United States and the Soviet Union, characterized international relations for much of the 20th century. The Cold War had significant global implications, including the arms race, proxy wars, and the Cuban Missile Crisis. 5. Vietnam War, 1955 to 1975. The communist forces in North Vietnam, led by Ho Chi Minh, defeated the U.S.-backed South Vietnam, unifying the country under communist rule. The war had profound consequences for the United States and the region. 6. Eastern Bloc, 1945 to 1989. After World War II, several Eastern European countries fell under Soviet influence, forming the Eastern Bloc. These nations adopted communism, with the Soviet Union as their political and economic model. 7. African liberation movements. Many African nations, including Angola, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, saw communist influence during their struggles for independence from colonial rule. Some adopted socialist or communist governments post-independence. 8. Latin American leftist movements. Throughout the 20th century, various Latin American countries witnessed communist and leftist movements. The Sandinistas in Nicaragua and the guerrilla movements in Colombia are examples of this trend. 9. Collapse of the Soviet Union, 1991. The dissolution of the Soviet Union marked a major turning point in world history. The collapse of the communist superpower led to the end of the Cold War and a significant decline in global communism. 10. Contemporary communist movements. While communism has declined in many parts of the world, countries like North Korea, Cuba, and China continue to embrace communist or socialist systems. In addition, contemporary leftist movements exist in numerous countries, often advocating for social and economic justice without necessarily endorsing traditional communism.